Hello guys and welcome back to my channel for another episode of the FM21 Tactic Tester. Today we welcome a brand new creator onto the series to put their tactic to the test and run this gauntlet. How will they get on? Will they topple our current leader 𝘼𝙗𝙗? Who knows? We will only find out today in today's video. So let's get into it. But first of all, I'll remind you guys of the rules and the current state of our leaderboard. So then a reminder of the rules of this series. All tactics must have a proven record of success or achievement. All tactics will use the same team and fixtures for the test, and that is Arsenal in this instance. No transfers will be allowed to be made in either transfer window. Tactics will be loaded in and simulated in one whole season, and all points, wins, goals scored and win percentage will be collected and displayed to find the best tactic out there. We have already had multiple creators on this series, so let's take a look at our current leaderboard. So last week's contestant was 𝘼𝙗𝙗 with his second run on the tactic tester, and what a run it was. His 442 diamond wide produced one trophy, came second in the league, with a total of 85 points, 147 goals scored, 63 goals conceded, 2.67 goals per game, and a win percentage of 76.36%. 𝘼𝙗𝙗 has done fantastically well to get to those heights. I didn't think our former champion Mike would be beaten at all, but he has been toppled now. So let's get into the game and let's meet today's creator. So then guys, we are back at Arsenal for another run at the tactic tester, and today's creator, if you've been in any one of my streams, you will know who this guy is. We are welcoming on Atlas Gaming, or 𝘼𝙗𝙗 as he is actually known. And that's his actual name, not as he's actually known. Steve, what are you talking about? But Atlas or 𝘼𝙗𝙗 is very active in my chat on our Twitch streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Fantastic supporter of me, so it's only right that we get him onto the tactic tester with his tactic. So I've already loaded it up in game. We'll go over to the tactic section, and it's becoming more and more popular that we are having this 4-3-3 shape. That is definitely appearing on the tactic tester a little bit more. I'm not going to run through the tactic in great detail, but what I will say is links to 𝘼𝙗𝙗's channel, YouTube channel, will be in the description down below. Head over. He's a relatively new creator, so make sure you head over to his channel, drop him a subscription on his channel. I'm sure he would very much appreciate it. So this is his tactic. It's labeled the Sao Paulo 4-3-3, which I believe he used obviously whilst managing Sao Paulo. He has a goalkeeper on defend, two wing backs on either side on support, just central defenders on defend, which is going to be very interesting to see how they got on. They've also got a half-back, a ball-winning midfielder, a mezzala, both on support, inside forwards on both sides on attack, and then the advanced forward also on attack. Obviously, you can see the instructions over to the left-hand side. A download link for this tactic will be in the description. If you want to run something similar in your save, you will be able to go and download 𝘼𝙗𝙗's tactic and have it in your save. Before we get things moving, what we usually do, guys, is we do a quick pick. So I will ask my assistant to pick the best 11 for this formation, and this is what the Arsenal assistant manager is saying. So he's saying Leno would be the ideal goalkeeper, Bellerin on the right, Mustafi alongside Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney completing that back line. Elneny, interestingly, as the half-back, with Thomas Partey alongside Dani Ceballos in the midfield, Willian on the right-hand side, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the left-hand side, with Lacazette up top. Now comes the time, guys, where we simulate the whole season. I will be back at the end of the season to show you guys how this tactic got on and if it has toppled 𝘼𝙗𝙗 at the top of our leaderboard. So then, guys, here we are at the end of the season, and as you can see, Arsenal have finished in third with 83 points, a pretty impressive points return. As we all know, Liverpool are absolute juggernauts in this Football Manager and in the last Football Manager. So toppling Liverpool in the Premier League is something that not many people have done in this tactic tester. You can see 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, top goal scorer with 25 goals. Nicolas Pepe with the highest average rating and the most assists and the most man of the match. 13 separate man of the match awards for Nicolas Pepe is very impressive. Thomas Partey getting himself a little bit in trouble with 12 yellow cards and the 1 red card. So, first things first, let's go over to the competitions tab and see how everything went. Runners up in the Community Shield, runners up in the Carabao Cup as well. Knocked out in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup by Liverpool. No real shame there. We can kind of understand what has happened there. And knocked out in the first round of the Europa League, by Celtic. Now, this one, not as good a result as you would like to have seen. Just 6 goals between the 2 top goal scorers, 3 for 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, 3 for Aubameyang. It's going to be interesting to see what happened in that Europa League, and then obviously finishing in 3rd place in the Premier League with Manchester City dropping into the Europa League. Very, very interesting. So let's go into the schedule and see how they got on. So they lost the Community Shield 3-1 to Liverpool. Firmino and Mane doing the damage there, with Thomas Partey getting the 1 reply. Things started pretty well at the start of the season. Getting Liverpool in the Carabao Cup 3rd round is very interesting, especially to topple them. Aubameyang coming up trumps with the 89th minute winner there. Going through, beat Wolves in the league, beat Leicester, beat Leeds, Red Star, Wolfsberger and Granada in the Europa League is a relatively easy group. You'd imagine Arsenal topped that group. They did. Who did they lose to? Lost to Red Star. Not great. Okay, we move forward. Seems relatively solid defensively on first glance. Losing to Tottenham, that's going to be a big one, unfortunately, for the Arsenal supporters. There is that loss to Red Star. Definitely getting things back on track, though, with a recovery win, 4-1 against Spurs. So they beat Spurs on aggregate, shall we say, over the season. Lost the away game, won the home game, so we'll manage through that. Did very well against Manchester City in the Christmas period. 3-3 in the home game, with Kevin De Bruyne scoring a 96th minute penalty equaliser before going up to the Etihad just a couple of days later, and Elneny's 64th minute goal being the deciding factor. Nice little run in January here. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row here. January going into February where they didn't even concede a goal. Beating Derby in the Carabao Cup semi-final. They beat Wolves along the way as well. So now we're going to get into the beating Manchester United at home as well. Wow, very good result. Then we move forward. Then the games against Celtic. So in the away leg, lost 3-1 at Celtic Park. And then they won 4-2 at home, going out on away goals. That's not good, is it? That is not good. Just out of curiosity, who won the Europa League? The final hasn't happened yet. But it's Manchester United versus Bayern Leverkusen. Both champions. United are definitely a Champions League team. But then we move forward. What else has happened? Carabao Cup final. They lost to Brighton. Oh, no. If that's a big team, you don't mind. But you should really be beating Brighton at Wembley for the Carabao Cup. Danny Welbeck with the 88th minute winner in that one. Moving into March, pretty solid March, losing the FA Cup quarter-final on penalties to Liverpool. Again, it is just Liverpool in this game, man. You just cannot beat them. Fantastic April, winning all their games, going into the final stage of the season. Then, after a very, very good April, continuing, they beat Brighton in the league towards the end of the season. They beat Villa. And then we always know, guys, this is the hardest end to the season I've kind of seen for a while. Everton, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United. The wheels kind of fell off in here. The season was probably pretty much over. Lost to Everton 1-0, lost to Chelsea 2-1, lost to Liverpool 3-0, and then drew 2-2 with Manchester United at Old Trafford on the final day of the season. So let's jump into the squad and take a look at things in terms of who played the most. You would assume it's going to be Leno. It is Leno, then 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Then Gabriel, then Thomas Partey, David Luiz, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤. 𝘼𝙗𝙤 actually getting 41 appearances for the club. He's a rare one that you see play, to be perfectly honest, in these simulations. It's probably because they had that half-back role there. So 𝘼𝙗𝙤, top goal scorer with 25 goals. Nicolas Pepe, 16 goals, 16 assists. Then Aubameyang with 14 goals. And then we move into 𝘼𝙗𝙤 actually scoring 9. If 𝘼𝙗𝙤 scored 9 goals in a Premier League season in real life, I would be astonished. Anyway, in terms of assists, Pepe is going to be leading the way with 16. Willian has 8. Then we move Aubameyang to 7. Then there's a few players on 6. Granit Xhaka, Saka, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤 again. That's a massive return from 𝘼𝙗𝙤. Kolasinac with 5. Well, there's a few with 5. Ceballos, Reece Nelson, and Hector Bellerin, all with 5. Obviously, the player of the match, it is very transparent who won that. Nicolas Pepe picking up the 13 there, and then 𝘼𝙗𝙤 actually coming in 6. So the highest average rating as well obviously falls to Nicolas Pepe. 16 goals, 16 assists. Very good season for him. I've just noticed that he's actually not played as many games as some of the others. So he's pulled ankle ligaments. So he missed 2 weeks there. He missed another 2 weeks with a pulled hamstring, and then he missed 6 days with the flu. You may think maybe they would have done a little bit better if Nicolas Pepe had been playing. So if we go into the team report, we go into the analyst section and we take a look at how this tactic's been getting on. In terms of the general performance, it's outperforming the Premier League. Arsenal take a high number of shots per 90 minutes compared to the average, and they find the target with a relatively average number of shots. So they're doing okay in terms of expected goals per game. They're doing much better in terms of the Premier League average. If we move it into the scoring efficiency, let's take a look at things down here. In terms of efficiency, they are actually having a ridiculous amount of shots per game. 21 shots per game on average. They're creating the chances, but this time, I don't know what it is, 𝘼𝙗𝙤 and Aubameyang didn't really click. Coming in at a wasteful 9% conversion rate. If that conversion rate with that number of shots per game was somewhere in and around here, you'd like to think that they would have been in with a very good shout of the Premier League title. In terms of goals against, we go into the conceding them. Opposition conversion rate is between around 9.5% on facing 8 goals per game. They face fewer shots per game and concede fewer goals than you would expect from the number of shots that they face. So again, I think having that halfback is a very good defensive unit. The 2 centre-backs just as centre-backs rather than ball-playing defenders probably eliminates a little bit of error that you could have there. In terms of formations then, guys, if we go into the formations used, as you can see, it's a positive +29 in terms of clear-cut chances for and against, creating a chance every 56 minutes and conceding a chance against them every 86. So in terms of everything, it's a pretty positive tactic, did pretty well. Is there anything that it did really well against or struggle against? Nothing spectacular. Did a +8 against a 5-back team, 5-back formation. Personally, I always struggle against breaking these down. So it's done a very good job against that. So maybe something you could use for the future. Okay then, guys, we've got to the end of the season. We've reviewed the season. I'm going to get my calculator out. I'm going to figure out where 𝘼𝙗𝙤's tactic lands on our leaderboard. I'll be back in just a second. So here is the leaderboard. Atlas Gaming has not toppled the leaderboard in terms of JDFM at the top, but he does find himself slotting in at 5th. It takes a lot to get onto this leaderboard now, with the minimum requirement being a 63.33% win ratio. So 𝘼𝙗𝙤's tactic slots him in there. No trophies won. Finished 3rd inside the Premier League. 83 points, 115 goals scored, 45 goals conceded, an average goals per game of 2.05, and that win percentage of 67.85%. So guys, that is another week done. Another creator has taken on the tactic tester gauntlet. Do you think that your tactic has what it takes to topple JDFM at the top of our leaderboard? If you do, get in touch with me in the comments down below, or using any of my social medias. Those links are in the description as well. And do let me know. We will be happy to get you on the tactic tester. We've got a Discord channel at the moment, which has a couple of tactics in there. If you think yours is good enough, make sure you join us in there. Submit your tactic. Show me how good it is and show me why we should be getting it on this series. But that is where I'm going to leave things for today, guys. If you have enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to drop a like on it down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here checking out tactics on Football Manager for the first time. Also, make sure you go and sub to 𝘼𝙗𝙤. Make sure you go and sub to 𝘼𝙗𝙤. But until next time, guys, take care, and I will see you guys very, very soon.